matchup with the New York Jets. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set, ready. Now the rook. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Begin.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
I'm here all day.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ingram. And an alley to run. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Kill. Turn up. Kill.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he'll find Hall. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd.
It's a foot race. 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Chris Herndon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers, or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a gain of 8.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
A gain of
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Ingram again, a first down carry. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hall. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I got you. Say it, say it, say it. Move on quickly. Delta, Delta. Much more to go.
From the gun, Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Time to go, night, night.
They toss to Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Mark Ingram unable to get past the marker. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Darnold on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check. Crunch.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He's going to fire one deep left side. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. From the 31, Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Nice big gain there from Marquise Brown, first-round pick out of Oklahoma. Of course, his cousin knows a thing or two about big catches in the NFL. That's Antonio Brown. And now Hollywood hoping to carry on the family tradition of solid production at the wide receiver position. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Eluding the pressure right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
We got 4. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On 2nd down and 4. Darnold caught here by Bell. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
80 weapons. Sponge. No. Kill.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day offense. And 80. Slam.
Throwing on 2nd down. Darnold. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 28. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And all the way down to the 26. A big effort that time out of Ingram. 56 yards on the ground.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. they don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
53 the mic. 53.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Now he'll escape to his left. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. This is Ingram, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 11. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
I got you, boy.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got Snead. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Yes. That's it. 50 seconds to mark.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. That'll bring up second down.
Second and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Ready. Reach. Mike 57. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Wide. Get wide.
Now Jackson going to throw again. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Brings up third down and 10.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw again is Jackson, being chased out left. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Good for Baltimore. First down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses. And excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1%. Coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Go, Simon. 36. Line 36. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Darnold completes to Bell, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Lady.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
First down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Darnold now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Pilot, 64, weak. Here we go.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. To the air again, Darnold. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This one caught by Crowder. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We go, Sack. Check, 48, the mic. I'm coming after you.
Now Bell. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Le'Veon Bell. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Jets are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 40. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Jackson towards the end zone for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Jets take over 1st and 10.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there at 22.
6-6, pull it high. Shift. Check the lady. Tight dog. Tell the lady. Right there.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Crowder. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
All right, partner, I wasn't good enough to get this done, but I played with plenty of guys who did. When they spotted wide receiver screen and they got to the football fast and blew the whole thing up, the same result as we just saw usually happened. No gain.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, I'm just one big carry away.
And all the way in, touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Jets will extend their lead. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Terrell Basham drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to...
This is caught at the 20. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Jets will extend their lead. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson is going to go for a big play downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven 1st. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Jackson. Completes it to Davis. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll find Hall. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Tucker with the extra point as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick on Russell. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. From the gun, Jackson rolling to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. Complete. Smith has it. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
Now Jackson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Focus, defense, focus. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Bravo.
Throwing now is Jackson. Flushed out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. C.J. Mosley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Jets are going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Okay, if you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Vincent Smith, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal. And
it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Darnold, his first throw in overtime. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. That good for 19 and a first down. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. To throw is Darnold. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Jackson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
49. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a 1st down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up, but in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
It's a give to the right, Ingram, and he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. The toss right. This is Ingram. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Mike, 53.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Bell. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Jets, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.